Happy Saturday, everybody. It is a gray, gloomy day in mid-October. So I was gonna do a little video today that is in regards to a recent headline on Zero Hedge citing an article that states that 40% of Americans are now obese. This is a new record, right? And this, that's just astounding. Number one, that's insanely astounding that 4 out of 10 people are overweight enough to be considered obese. Now, I do know that somebody that we probably wouldn't consider obese would still make, the chart of obesity because the way that's set up. So, somebody we might look at and say, yeah, he's pretty pudgy. Is considered obese, but nonetheless, look around and it's terrible. And this is a struggle I run in with every day because as I've stated before on this channel, my wife and I have like a healthy fast food restaurant, and the education process and getting people in there is not easy. It's not easy. People don't understand what they should be eating, and quite frankly, the most frustrating part is it's not like you have a bunch of people walking around that are confused and are trying. Most of the people do not give a darn. They don't care. They want their crap food. The crappier the better. We had a Popeyes chicken open up. I know, like it's 1998, right? Somebody's freaking out about Popeyes chicken. Like that hasn't been around forever. Apparently not in this area. So we got a Popeyes chicken in one of these little towns that are all kind of bunched up together. They're all basically all one little metropolitan area. And the lines are like through the frickin', they're around the block practically. It nonstop. People lining up 10, 12, 15, 20 cars deep for Popeyes chicken. It's complete and utter garbage. It's like, your body's sitting there going, what in the hell are you doing? It's fast food poison. Like all of them are. They make their money off of, pennies off a dish. They're nailing mass quantity purchase orders of the crappiest quality ingredients, I guess. So, the most nutrient deficient feedlot raised everything, disgustingly raised chicken, fish, whatever. They're getting the bottom of the barrel because they're ordering, trailer tractor loads of this stuff, and it gets distributed to all the Popeyes through the distribution chain. Where, I order something, it's for my restaurant alone, and of course my goal is not to buy the crappiest ingredients. My goal is to buy the best ingredients that I can afford to sell people. But it's just astounding, and it's really, it's from a standpoint of somebody who cares about having a brain, who cares about using the brain in which we were given, who doesn't want to just be a fat shit that sits on the couch and watches, sitcoms or football all day. Or I love football, don't get me wrong, but we talked about that before. A bunch of people fighting it out on the gridiron does not have an effect on your life personally. However, how you decide to feed your 2 billion microorganism biome inside of you has everything to do with whether you live or whether you die, or whether you're going to get cancer in 10 years, or whether you're going to be able to live until you're 85, 90 and be spry while you do it. So when people all of a sudden have like this conniption, there's a lot of, this part of the town I'm talking about, there's a lot of white trash. Just is what it is, When people get that excited about a flippin' Popeyes chicken, it just shows you that, Walmart Nation is alive and well. And, even though there's been a a fairly significant uptick in people who care about what they put in their body. For the most part, it's still overwhelmingly, you know, the price what you can get for your dollar, so that you can afford to have your iPhone 8 and, you know, have enough calories to theoretically feed yourself, even though you're not feeding yourself, right? You're just shoving your face full of empty crap that's full of more toxins than you can shake a stick at, and then you get all pissed off because Uncle Larry died at 49 of, you know, some kind of heart disease or cancer or heart attack or whatever. Well, it astounds me in which the way we have relegated these things to being normal. People dying in their 30s and 40s as being normal. Childhood cancer as being normal. Almost 1 in 2 people, 1 in 2.5 people getting cancer, normal. I forget what the diabetes rate is, but it's, you know, record highs, right? Never been higher. That's normal, right? That's totally normal. That's cool. Prescription drug use, all-time high. Totally normal. It's agitating. So I've been feeling like crap, so my videos haven't really been making it out there, and my daughter just got sick last night with like a flu, and I think that might have been why I was feeling like crap so bad. I think I had, because I've had like this head cold congestion or whatever, but I think I was just fighting it off, because I never actually got sick, but I felt, you know, with the temperature, but I felt crappy, so I got a little agitated at myself last night, so I'm adding a bunch of detox stuff, diatomaceous earth, activated charcoal every 3 days. I'm going to do a product review on this new product we got from Organics, and this thing called a Biomat, which is sweet, super cool. One of those things that you look at and you go, man, this has got to be a freaking gimmick, right? It works. It is weird. It's funky. I don't know what it's doing, but it works. So maybe after a couple more days of using it, my son, who's on the spectrum, is using it, and he loves it. And so put that out there. Do a little product review. But I want to get, you know, I want to get detoxing. You know, and people don't realize that the more unhealthy you are, the less side effects you realize from all the toxins you're taking in, because your body starts to hide it in all that extra fat tissue. It starts to try to overcompensate and putting stress on other areas of your body to make it so you can still function. You might have certain side effects like maybe fatigue, brain fog, high blood pressure, you know, things like that. And then you go to your doctor and you take a pill for it. You drink an extra cup of coffee. You know, go get prescription for low testosterone shots. You know, get your testosterone shots or whatever, if you're a guy. So there's different ways. You know, you go and you get a prescription or 2 or 3 that turns into 10, and you know, you're doing these things to cover it up and stay functioning, and they make you feel fine in the moment. Inflammation, taking, you know, 10 bare aspirin every day, like that's good for you, right? Like that's what you're supposed to do. So we are way sicker than we could ever even imagine, and we're covering it up with pills, or opioids for that matter. This freaking opioid epidemic is through the roof, which is what happens when people feel no real opportunity to make money. And you know, because most people aren't entrepreneurs, most people aren't go-getters, most people are 9-to-5ers. And to be fair, if someone doesn't have a lot of drive to do things career-wise, other than, you know, be consistent, show up on time, do a good job while they're there, but then clock out and go back to their home life, and that's what motivates them. Maybe something in their home life, hobbies, wife, kids, you know, making house, doing all the shit around the house that people do. You know, a lot of times that motivates people just fine, and they want to just be able to go to work 9 to 5 and make enough money so that they can get their bills paid, feed the family, pay, you know, get their internet bill paid, right? And be able to take a vacation to go see somebody around Christmas time, and then start the cycle all over again. Which is, I mean, that's totally fine. You know, that's been the majority of America for a long time, and over the last 7 or 8 years, that's just dwindled down to shit. I mean, you almost have to have 2 people making at least somewhat of an income. You know, the way I see it, if it's a family with 2 kids, a regular size house, you know, just call it a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house, you know, not low quality, not high quality, run of the mill, say $350,000 house. You got to make $65,000 a year between you and your wife to break even. It's freaking expensive to live, and people, you know, people are smart enough to know that the government's numbers are bull, but that's what it takes to live. And so when you have this overwhelming amount of lack of quality jobs, you know, now people get all excited about making $15 an hour. You know, they're like, oh, I got this job, you know, make $15, $16 an hour. Well, shit, that's not a, you know, that's not enough to live off of. It's not enough to support a family. If you're not pulling in $21, $22 an hour, and being frugal, you're going to need the other person in the house to work. That's just the way it is. Because, you know, $20 an hour, it's $800 a week before taxes. Is that $40,000 a year before taxes? You know, so you've got to find a way, you know, to pull in realistically $25, $30 an hour to even have a hope of having one income support a family. Yeah, so, and that's just being real. You know, add a car, you know, you have a car payment, you got a mortgage, you got taxes, you got your utility bills, groceries. So, you know, you see these opioids, and, you know, they're putting chemical stuff in the foods at these fast food joints that make you have that instant gratification, feel good. I don't know if they're messing with the dopamine, serotonin, whatever, you know, these chemicals are, or these hormones are in your brain. But they're creating things in labs that make people crave this garbage that kills them eventually. And it's just very sad. I mean, it's very sad, and it's even more sad that people don't give a darn. They really just don't care. And I understand it's work, right? It's work to put in the time and effort, the emotional, you know, it takes a lot of emotional energy to be disciplined in that. I fall through the cracks, you know, I'm certainly far from perfect. I need to step up my game. I need to just go into full bore mode. You know, I need to get detoxing. I don't have a lot of enthusiasm. Sometimes I get into these ruts, whether, you know, I get a little bit of a sickness, I eat the wrong crap, then I start feeling, you know, pretty down for a couple days. It really knocks me on my butt. And, you know, some of that is I know I've got internal viruses, if not Lyme disease. And whenever I have a flare-up of these things, it's just like, you know, I don't, you know, it's not that I don't want to do anything, it's that I get this mood where I'm just like, screw it. You know, I just get agitated at everything. So I just go work out, get away from people. But that's not beneficial. And, you know, when I started these videos, I had a good, like, 2.5 week run where I was not really having any of those moments. The last week or so has been kind of back and forth, but maybe, you know, maybe there's just been this virus because my wife hasn't felt awesome either. And we're living with so many parasites and so many viruses that it's really hard to get a grasp on what is affecting us. And I did do a parasite cleanse leading up, and I think that, so that maybe I have to do that again, get myself back on track. Yeah, I just didn't even think about that until now, but I had just stopped a parasite cleanse right before I stopped these videos, and that might have done something that was pretty beneficial. So I'll have to go back to the drawing board and readdress that. Then maybe that's the way to go. But that's it for now. Just, yeah, super frustrating. You know, you see these numbers, you see the disease numbers, you see the fact that Americans still don't give a darn. They don't care. They act like they care. They'll go hold someone's hand and say, you know, God is going to help you pull through this cancer or this disease or whatever it is. And it's like, no, God gave you a brain so that you didn't abuse the hell out of your body when you were living. And then, you know, you wouldn't be in this situation. I'm not talking all cases, but 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 cases of cancer are people's own damn fault. And, you know, if I get it, it's going to be something I did. And then we decide to go and, you know, bombard ourselves with radiation and chemo, or, you know, in the case of, you know, heart disease, 1,000 different prescription pills, or if we had a heart attack, you know, they sign us up for all these new preventative heart attack medicines and heart disease medicines, or whatever, you know, whatever the disease might be. You guys know what I'm saying. Instead of getting back to the land saying, okay, now I need to take care of myself. And you've seen these stories all over the place. Somebody screwed up, living like crap, moved to the country after they had a close call, started growing all their own food, caring about, you know, living a more simplistic lifestyle, putting their money where it matters. 10, 12, 15 years later, you know, they're perfectly healthy, living full lives, getting the nutrients so that their body can heal themselves. Your body can heal basically anything if it's given the fuel to do it, the proper nutrition to make it happen. Your immune system is badass. The complexity of our immune system is insane. The ability for the body to heal is miraculous if you're dialed in to making the changes right? And I'm not perfect, but at least I care. You know, I tried to gain the knowledge to give my body what I need, because as soon as I started eating clean, I recognized all these shortcomings and all these allergies and these things. I'm like, man, I'm heading down the wrong track. But you know, when you're in college and you're eating Domino's pizza and drinking beer, you know, 80% of your calories are coming from crap. That happens. And it happens more so each generation that goes down the line. So, you know, the 60 or 70-year-old person who tells you, well, that's what we did, blah, 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 they're full of shit. They were coming from they were much closer to their food source in their lineage than we are now. You know, we're 3 or 4 or 5 generations into the processed, preservative-filled garbage world than we were back then. So our gut biomes and everything else is far worse off from birth than it was for somebody who's a baby boomer, let's say, right? And they're still getting plenty of disease. So we're going to be in a real world of hurt. You know, mix in the autism spectrum disorders and ADHD and allergies to it, and, you know, crazy, absolutely crazy. So that's the end of my morning rant. People like to eat their deep-fried Popeyes more than they like actually treating their body with nutrients that it deserves. So be it as it may. I will keep pushing my message, if I could speak. I'm trying to get 1, 2, or 3 more people to, you know, eat 1 less meal at McDonald's and cook 1 more meal at home each week. You know, even if that's all the difference that can be made, that's a move in the right direction. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and I need to crank out some videos this weekend to catch up. So thank you all, and I will talk to you soon.